I think I can get away with using the showdown hoedown. I mean, it's like a showdown, right? Let's see here. I'm a little behind, so I guess we're gonna have to be doing some getting caught up as we go here. Just looking up news. If any of y'all are here, feel free to share anything you've heard. I've been a little behind. If you haven't seen on the announcement or on Twitter, I've been spending about the last 3 hours getting my girl out of the ER. So I'm a little bit behind. I saw, let's see. Let's go over here to this. I've already updated some stuff. I assume this Glover guy is going to be pretty highly owned now. I don't have the numbers in front of me. But as you can see, the big one is taking Tavion Thomas from Utah out. With him out, that really makes it tricky. I think that most people are going to gravitate towards just playing Micah Bernard there in their cash lineup. I would warn you against this, though. I feel like they kind of have been. I mean, just look at the rushing yards per game. The Jalen Glover guy, I think, is actually probably more safe for the touches. Micah Bernard's more of like their third down back, right? And a good third down back's always nice because they can get there. They're going to get more passing volume usually, right? But to say that that's what you want in your cash lineup, I don't know if that's the right thing. So if you got any big news, feel free to hop in here and tell me if I'm looking at this, guys, that there's just no way that I'm not playing in cash tonight. By the way, what's up, Zach? What up, brother? Nick, awesome news about Rooney. Daughter was very happy. Yeah, we're very happy. Hey, I got a daughter too. Her name's Rooney. Anyways, guys that I think that like are non-negotiable tonight if you're playing cash, which I guess we'll start with GPP. If you're going to play GPP, I really like this Utah-Washington State game. I really like it because the Utah pieces are pretty clear who you should play, but I think Washington State has some really nice run back pieces. Jenkins, Farrell, Stribling, Ollie are all very good run back pieces. I think it wouldn't be a bad idea to come over here and get a little piece of this USM-ULL game. Louisiana Lafayette, Southern Miss. I think Gore is just a nuts play on this slate anyways. And then I really like Jefferson and Brownlee, one receiver from each side. These teams have some really wonky wide receiver rotations, but those do seem to be the highest volume guys that are on the field. They each average over 6 targets a game. Actually, Brownlee averages almost 9 a game. And, everything about this game just screams this NC State Virginia Tech game. Everything about it just kind of screams like slow, methodical, boring, low scoring. But something to be said about very fairly priced guys, especially at the running back position. In slow-paced games, I really don't mind running backs, right? Because in slower-paced games, they're going to run the ball more. That's more touches. I think Malachi Thomas, it wouldn't surprise me if he got 18 to 20 touches tonight. Is he kind of a premium price at $7,200? Yes, he is. However, because he's $7,200 and the pricing on this slate is so soft, there's just no stars on it. I'm kind of leaning towards putting him in my cash lineup, right? Yeah, I know his team only has a 13-point total, but I worry more about team totals when I'm worrying about playing wide receivers and quarterbacks from a game, right? And a running back, if he's going to get 20 carries and he falls into the box one time, he's usually almost going to always pay off, right? And we know Virginia Tech likes to run the ball, and yes, I'm very aware that NC State has a very good defense, but to me, Malachi Thompson, other than Frank Gore, seems like he has the safest access to a large number of touches, and that's what I really want to see, right? So for GPPs, I think I'm stacking games, right? I'd probably go stack the 2 quarterbacks and 2 wide receivers in one, and then maybe go get a correlation in another. I'm not playing GPP tonight. I really just enjoy making a really good cash lineup and just moving pieces around and just trying to get everything to fit. It's like a puzzle. I really enjoyed it. I mean, of course I enjoy it when I've hit 8 out of my last 9. We always enjoy it a lot more when we're winning, right? And we feel like we're so smart. I enjoy it. I never thought I would enjoy cash so much. I wish I could get to this place in my golf career. I fucking hate cash at golf, but I love it at college football. The guys that you have to play tonight in cash, I don't even think it's really negotiable. I think you have to play Cam Rising, quarterback. First of all, let's go over roster construction. In college football, you always got to play 2 quarterbacks. I know all of you know that. You've been with me on this train for 8 or 9 weeks now, right? We've been getting pretty good at it. And so we all know you play a quarterback, and then your superflex, you play a quarterback, right? They touch the ball the most. They have the most access to points, especially the ones that can run, right? Spencer Sanders, a naked hooker, people like that, right? But here's one we haven't talked enough about, and I really want to start focusing on. When you're going to spend your money, obviously you're going to spend it on quarterbacks because quarterbacks are never cheap, right? At least the good ones aren't. The next place you want to spend your money is at running back and flex. And I am thinking probably at least 90% of the time you want your flex in a cash lineup. This is a cash lineup, you motherfather, because that's what I want to focus on. I mean, if you're playing a GPP lineup, just simply go play whoever fits your lineup the best, right? If you want to play two running back or two wide receivers from each squad and run them back against each other, well, you're going to obviously need to use your flex as a receiver. So I get that. But straight cash, right, where we're just trying to optimize our floor and still give ourselves high upside, I think over 90% of the time you need to have a running back as your flex. Okay, why? Because in college football, it's different. Yes, we are playing DraftKings, most of us, and it is full PPR, and we're so brainwashed from NFL that PPR gives a huge advantage to receivers. That is true in the NFL. But in college, running backs, especially running backs for good teams, have such higher floors. Teams run the ball so much more efficiently in college than they do in the NFL, right? A crazy good game in the NFL is 120 yards. We got dudes that average over 120 yards per game in college, right? Like, that's like, oh, Bijan only had 120 yards a day. What, did he get hurt? Like, it's just worth it to pay it, right? They get so many more touchdowns. I mean, when a running back in the NFL gets 2 touchdowns, you're like, oh my God, slate breaker. When they get 2 touchdowns in college football, you're like, oh yeah, that's called Saturday, right? That's just what good running backs do. There's just so many more plays. They're so much more efficient at running the ball. You are far better getting high quality running backs. If you're going to punt at a position, you definitely don't fucking punt at quarterback or super flex with your other quarterback. And I don't think you should punt at running back. The place to punt is with receivers, because a bottom barrel $3,500 receiver can literally get there for 1 catch with 30 yards and a touchdown. He's already there. So if that's where you want to, that's where you're going to want to punt every time. So when you're making a cash lineup, which I think most of you are doing and you're doing pretty well at it, always have 2 quarterbacks and almost always have 3 running backs. And then, of course, your 3 receivers, because it's 8-man lineup. And you should be punting only at one position, in my opinion, and that's wide receiver. If you're going to take a risk somewhere, you do it at receiver. If you gotta cut that salary somewhere so you can have those studs, you cut it at receiver. And I've been following that, and I don't think I've done a good enough job at explaining to follow that formula. So I'm going to just start talking about it every show. Okay. By the way, if you got any news, feel free to hop over here in the chat. So, or if you just want to ask questions, get over here in the chat. We only got 17 more minutes, and then I got to switch over and do the NFL one, okay? Guys that you have to have. I think you have to play Frank Gore tonight. I think you have to have Frank Gore. He's first of all, his name's Frank Gore. I mean, when I think of a fucking running back, give me the Frank Gore, right? So there's that. I'm over here looking at some of my projections and stuff. Frank Gore projects as the highest running back on this slate. I think he is super safe. Yes, the team total's not that high, but if you didn't just hear me go on that whole diatribe, I don't worry as much about team totals at running back. That's more of a wide receiver quarterback thing. So to me, every lineup should begin Cam Rising either at your flex or your quarterback. You just got to pay it. I don't care if he's 100% owned. You just don't get cute at cash. You just pay it. He has the safest ceiling and the safest floor on this schedule. 32-point team total. Give it all to me. Playing against a team that can push him, I'm there. And if you don't know, he's actually pretty damn good. He's pretty damn good. So Gore and Rising are 2 guys you got to have in your cash lineup. Non-negotiable. I don't want to hear it. If you don't play those guys in cash night and you don't cash, don't talk to me. Okay. All right. From there, I don't know if it's that apparent who to play from there. I think you have some options from there. Let's go talk about Superflex, who I would be looking to play at Superflex. Well, seeing it's a cash lineup, I want that safe floor. And when you have a 27-point team total, I'm very aware that NC State plays slow and they run the ball a lot. But Jack Chambers does average 5 rushes a game. And, he's been trending in the right direction, and they have a 27-point team total. He is probably where I am leaning with my second cash play, but I'm not going to lie to you. The second quarterback in my cash play, I should say. I'm not going to lie to you. Cam Ward is not the worst option, because he's probably going to be in a pretty favorable script where they're going to be playing from behind. And, he's $500 more expensive than our boy Jack Chambers. I would think those would probably be your 2 best bets. I'm definitely not playing a quarterback in cash that has a team total of 13. So Grant Wells, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Let's see. If I were going to consider one other one, I would probably consider Woolridge here. He would be the only other one I would consider. Don't love it. Definitely not playing Zach Wilke. Not doing it, man. I'm not doing it. So, to me, you're going to be playing Cam Rising in one of them, and then you're either running Jack Chambers or Cameron Ward in the other. Basically, however much you can fit. One thing you got to worry about, I would say this. Jack Chambers probably has a safer floor, which sounds great for cash, but I think Jack Chambers has a much higher floor for cash, which seems nice, but I think Cameron Ward has a way bigger ceiling because this game does have a little shootout potential. Washington State at home, weird shit happens up there in Pullman, Washington, brother. And he actually has some pretty solid receivers that fucking get yards and, they like to pass it around. They got a lot of that carryover vibe from Mike Leach when he was there. So, Cameron Ward does make sense at cash. I put him as high upside. I think in a GPP, he's the exact kind of guy you want to target. So don't think just because I have Jack Chambers here slotted in as a cash spot that you can't play Cam Ward. I think they're both viable. To me, those are the only three guys I'm considering for cash. If you want another one, Woolridge, but I don't want to play a $7,300 quarterback. I don't care how soft the pricing is. $7,300 and they don't even have a 22-point team total. I'm not there, brother. I'm not there. Running back, I've already told you, I think you got to play Frank Gore in cash tonight. Just don't get cute. Just take the free square. Yes, he might be 90% owned, but so be it. That means if 10% of people aren't playing him, they're probably just paying the rake in the cash game, right? He has very safe touches. They're at home. They're probably going to be playing from ahead. Just seems like a very good situation. And you know what? His dad was Clinton Portis. So, I mean, what do you want? That was a joke. Okay. That was just the first Miami running back I could have thought about. We all know Frank Gore's dad is Willis McGahee. Okay, so moving on. I think this NC State one is really interesting. I'm very interested in Jordan Houston. 13 carries. He gets another 3.5 targets. He's very, very cheap. And I think in GPPs, he's a smash play, right? Like him or Dimi Sumokonaronge, or however the hell you say his name. I think they're both very, very good plays in GPPs. I personally don't love them for my cash lineup because they split the carries. Now, I'll be the first to acknowledge they do have a pretty big team total. They're both very fairly priced, and they're both probably going to be playing in a script that will have them running the ball a lot. So if these guys fit into your cash lineup, it makes sense. If I had to go with one, I'd probably go with Houston over Sumo. Okay, I just assume if you have Sumo in your last name, I got to assume you're a little slow. Powerful, but slow. All right. I think I already mentioned this one at running back. I think I'm leaning towards Malachi Thomas. Yes, I hate the 13-point team total. Yes, 7,200 is too expensive. But, man, if I just have to count on a guy to get 20 touches tonight, it's going to be him and Frank Gore. If I can find the money, I'm probably just going to play him, right? I kind of like him. I think what most people are going to do in cash tonight, and it might sink me before I even get going, is they're just going to go over here and take this usage that's going to get absorbed by the Utah running backs. If you don't know, Tavion Thomas is out. And so if he is out, hold on, I got to get my chat back up. Oh, still only got one person in the chat. Just me. It's just me and Zach chilling. Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to come over here and just use these Utah running backs. But honestly, they just don't get enough touches for me. Even I know we're like, well, they don't get enough touches because Thomas has been playing. They'll get more tonight. That's probably true. But I think most people are naturally going to gravitate towards Bernard because, you know, he's been the guy that's been playing all year. But I don't think Bernard's role changes a lot. I still think he's going to be a third down back. And yes, he probably will get some catches. And yes, he might be fine. But once again, I would rather, if I'm going to pay, $6,200, I'll just find the $7,200 and go play Thomas and just get the guaranteed 20 touches. So I'm assuming. Remember, these are all assumptions. Okay, I'm just telling you my thought process. You do what's best for you, big guy. All right, Jalen Glover. If I had to play a guy from Utah as a running back, I'd rather play Glover than I would Bernard. I think he's going to get the first and second down action. I think he'll get the goal line carries. I think he is more likely to have a big game. But to be honest, I'm already playing Cam Rising. I'm probably playing Dalton Kincaid. Do I really want to have the whole fucking Utah roster? I mean, yes and no. Yes and no, Bob. So, running backs, very interested in Thomas. Mildly interested in Houston, not playing Chris Smith in cash game. Definitely going to be on Gore. And then I got to tell you the last one, Jalen Jenkins, man. If you don't know, they had Watson, right? The little running back Watson that we would always play at like 3,800 early in the season and would always get there. Little quality, his, like, for whatever reason, they just notoriously underpriced these Washington State guys. I can tell you right now that Jalen Jenkins should be probably 6,200, and he's 48. And I'm going to go ahead and scroll down here and tell you that this Mr. Robert Farrell has really started to emerge as their top wide receiver the last couple games. He's been getting targeted more. He is getting more of the catches. I really don't think you can go wrong with any of these three. This is why I love this team for GPPs, because they have so many great run back options against Utah. I think if I have to just take the safe floor and the safe ceiling, I'm probably going to go with Farrell and Jenkins in cash. Which sounds weird to say that you're taking two underdogs, but I'm telling you, man, I always feel comfortable playing Washington State at home. Weird shit happens in Pullman, Washington, brother. All right, so now let's get to wide receivers. Who are the guys I'm considering? Obviously, nobody from Virginia Tech is probably going to make my cash lineup. If you had to play one, I don't think Caleb Smith is the worst. They are going to be playing from behind. They are probably going to be passing. He does average 6 targets a game. But, man, that's just going to be a slow game, and I don't like to have wide receivers in slow games. If you're going to play one from NC State, they do have a pretty big team total, so he could probably get there. Thayer Thomas is very viable. But, if I'm going to play Thayer Thomas, I'll probably just come down here and play Dalton Kincaid. That's where I'm at on the whole deal, right? Over here, this one actually has 2 wide receiver options I like. I really like Jefferson getting the 6 targets a game, and I like Brownlee. But these 2 teams are notorious for having some fuck-off wide receiver rotation. So you got to be very careful with that. But I think you can get away with playing either of these. I will say that anytime I need to break a tie between 2 guys, I'm always going to go with the receiver that has a more stable quarterback. And Wooldridge from ULL has obviously been more successful than Wilkie from USM. So I guess a slight edge to Michael Jefferson. Even though I have Brownlee located as cash, I think Michael Jefferson is perfectly fine at cash. You got to remember, we got to lower our expectations. There's only 3 games tonight, right? Hey, editor, go ahead and repost this final draft for me. I hope you're watching. I just, now that I edited that and I changed that running back, go repost that for me as the final draft for people that aren't watching this stream. Thanks, editor. I really like Dalton Kincaid. I also think Valey makes a lot of sense. These are their top 2 receivers. You can see they're both getting nice targets per game. They're both on a high total. Those 2 make a lot of sense in cash, Kincaid and Valey. I would only play Dixon and Parks. I only put, a lot of these games I put all these receivers on here just in case you're running a game stack and you want to know, well, who's their 3rd best receiver? Who's their 4th best receiver? Just because they're on here doesn't make them good plays. It just means they're people worth considering. Matter of fact, I wouldn't even consider Dixon or Parks in cash. Right? Not even for a second. All right. My dude Jeff is saying Jenkins has been used more lately. Fuck. Sorry, who are we talking about there? I got to go back to where we were. Oh, yeah. He's talking about the running back from Washington State. I got you. Yes. Well, I mean, he's been getting used more, Jeff. I'm pretty sure because Watson's out with injury, right? Pretty sure Watson's out hurt. Zach said, I like Smithen a lot. Starting now, Stribling got moved to the slot, and Smithen starting where Stribling was. Let's see what my dude says here. He says he likes Smithen a lot. Now, Zach, are you saying you play Smithen in cash? You like him that much? Smithen is starting now. Stribling got moved to the slot, and Smithen is starting where Stribling was. Okay. Let's see. Let me make sure Let me go... I'm looking something up real quick. Forgive me. Washington State receivers. Yeah. I don't know what to do with these Washington State receivers. I'm probably gonna look it up. I might switch Ollie. Maybe Ollie is cash viable. 4,600 at that price tag, getting 7 targets. Maybe I should switch him and Farrell. Hey, editor, I lied. Now post it. I'm just looking some stuff up. Ollie is still getting more run, and I want the guy that's on the field more. So I guess I'd still go Donovan Ollie. Matter of fact, I'm going to forget to do this. So I'm going to go switch my lineup right now so I don't forget. Get out of here. Upcoming lineups. I'm just doing the 1 cash lineup, and I think I'm going to switch Farrell out for Ollie. Yeah, I can do that. Obviously, they're the same fucking price. Of course I can do that. There you go. So that is my cash lineup for tonight. Don't love it. Don't hate it. I feel like that's almost every week with my cash lineup. So I don't remember where the fuck I was. Yeah, there you go. So I wish the editor would tell me he's getting these messages. Repost Rosetta Stone as final. Okay. Any other questions? Hop in there now, or if not, I'm getting off here. I'm going to go prepare for my NFL one. Let me get my chat back up. Let's see. No, still GPP, but had like 10 points last week. Jenkins is number 1 on the depth chart now with Watson out. That's what I got. I feel like Jenkins needs to be in the old cash lineup tonight. Yeah, he's definitely in mine. I mean, I feel like my lineup's pretty obvious. Pretty obvious. It has two Utah, 2 Washington State, 1 ULL, 1 USM, 1 Virginia Tech, 1 NC State. So I got a little bit of everybody. Just spreading the love around. Any other questions, guys? I think the key to cash tonight is just try to get guys that are going to be on the field. If fucking dumbasses in cash play Dwayne Lofton and they get there, well, then so be it. Just be happy they're playing guys like that, because usually when guys like that play these stupid one-offs in cash, that's just paying the rake, and that's what you want. You always want to see, Dwayne Lofton may outscore Donovan Ollie tonight, but he legit would outscore him probably 1 out of 6 times. And if you have Ollie over Lofton and that guy wants to play Lofton over Ollie, just know that 6 out of 7 times you would have beat him there. So you can't worry about the stupid one-off setting. You want guys that have nice safe floors and nice high ceilings. I wouldn't get caught away overstacking a team. I would never have more than 3 guys from the same team, not the same game, the same team in my same cash lineup, right? So I wouldn't go Cam Rising, Glover, Kincaid, and Bailey. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't have 4 Utah. I mean, I guess if they score 42 points, you'll probably be fine, but I wouldn't count on that, right? So that's why I've got 2 here, 1, 1, 1, and 1. Look at that. So I got literally somebody from every team represented. I'm not playing any head-to-head, so I guess I can kind of give away my lineup a little bit more than normal. All right, guys. Looks like we're out of questions. I'm going to go prepare for my NFL stream that begins in 8 minutes. Good luck tonight. Talk to you later.